If somebody does not understand you, I promise you it's not their problem, it's yours. My name is Shania, just Shania Banson, and I have been a filmmaker for the past 11 years, and I have been a full-time director, writer, and producer for going on 3 years now. And on today's OnSet Talk, we're going to talk about the truth behind making your first film. I think the common misconception, or at least what people expect whenever they go into making their first film, is that this first film is going to be it. This is going to be my banger. This is going to be the thing that puts me on, that sets my name in the industry. But in all honesty, it's not. It's not. This is not about to be your most groundbreaking project. This is not about to be the thing that defines you as a creative genius, because you probably are. You probably are. But nobody will likely be able to tell from your first film. And I think it is very rare, honestly, very rare for somebody's first film or first project in general to be the banger that sets them up in the industry. Honestly, I've maybe only heard about it a handful of times, but when it came down to those people, I promise you they have been training for that first project for a long time. So that wasn't their intro into it. It just so happened to be their culmination of education that they received throughout their years of experience. Now, somebody who may not have had that culmination of education that they experienced throughout their time within the industry, for somebody who has not done that and they are entering into their first project with the general base level amount of understanding and education when it comes down to being a director, writer, or producer, that person who makes that project, that first timer, we're going to be able to tell it's your first time. We're going to be able to tell. It's going to be so obvious that it's your first time because it's just noticeable. It's actually a thing. Like a first painter's first painting is not the Mona Lisa. A first director's first project is not Sinners. It's not. It's their first project, and everybody's first is not their best. What I do want to reframe is how we are looking at our first project, how we are looking at our first film, the expectations that we have when going into your first project. And if you are a person who is pivoting into doing your first project, if you are fresh out of school and starting your first project, however you're approaching this first project, I definitely think that you should watch this video because it's going to reframe the entire thought process you have going in, which will then inform so many other things in this process. So when you are entering into your first project or your first film or your first series, your first moving picture project, whatever that is, I need you to reduce the expectation that it will not be your best, but I need you to raise the expectation of what you will receive from it. You'll learn. I've said it in many videos that learning is the most important thing that you can do as a filmmaker. This first project is going to be your biggest lesson. You're gonna have a lot of big lessons throughout the industry, but this first project is going to be your biggest because no lesson that you receive after this first project is gonna hit you as hard as this first one. This first project is going to teach you how to work with a team. And this is not no regular team sport, okay? If you're an athlete and you've played on a baseball team, if you're a person who took charge in your class project, this is not that. This is a completely different type of working with a team that you're gonna have to get accustomed to. This is being able to work with other people who are just as good as you, if not better, in their respective field, in their respective departments on that project that you now have to collaborate with. On a team, you may have your star player. In that class project, you may have the slacker and the person who does the full project plan and then presents it. But when it comes down to being on a set, when it comes down to being on a project and having a film, everybody has to pull up, and whomever does not pull up, you will be able to tell. So you working on this first project is going to teach you how to properly work with a team to make sure that you are all equally yoked, all on the same level, all doing what you need to do, because it's going to be very, very noticeable and very, very apparent when that is not the case. This first project is also going to teach you how to communicate. Yeah, come closer when I say this. This first project is going to teach you how to communicate. If you thought you were a communicator before, think again, because you're not going to know whether or not you're a good communicator until you step foot on a set and everybody's looking on you, depending on you, and expecting you to know how this day is going to go. Imagine 12 hours of an entire team's day being dependent on you. Does that sound like pressure? No, it sounds like a moment for you to step up and learn how to communicate, to step up and learn how to organize. It's going to teach you how to organize. It's going to teach you how to be a leader. okay? To be a director, you have to be an amazing leader. To be an amazing leader, you have to be somebody who's not only accountable, but you have to be an amazing communicator, because everybody needs to understand you. If somebody does not understand you, I promise you, it's not their problem, it's yours. It means that you need to learn how to communicate better, and not better in the sense of figuring out better words to use, but maybe you should learn how to be more of a visual communicator. Maybe you should learn how to be more of a action-based communicator. Like, you need to show somebody the actions for them to get it. Maybe you are somebody who does need to figure out better ways to say things, but also with being a great communicator doesn't just mean knowing how to do it in one way. You now have to learn how to do it in multiple different ways, because everybody is different and receives information differently. So this first project is going to truly show you the gaps and the areas in which your communication falls flat, but then that is where the lesson comes in. That is where you now have to learn how to fill those gaps for your next project.